This video is brought to you by Video Games and Comics. We hope you enjoy it. Hello everyone and welcome to another video with Video Games and Comics. This is part 2 of our, let's call it, cinematic rights saga. I'm Nightwing and this is
Catwolf. How you doing, guys?
third time's the charm, better response time than usual.
Well, timing's going really well.
I mean, the joke just gets funnier each time I say it.
People are bawling.
I know, maybe we should do a pun video because, we're pun masters.
Oh god, that'd be immense.
Because we're quite punny, so, right, let's get back on topic. This video is on the DC film rights, and I guess it's a bit unfair to call it that because they don't really have as much rights issues, and it's not really even issues.
It's not messed up as in terms of Marvel.
Yeah, so do you want to explain it or do you want me to?
You want to explain this time?
Go on then. Right, so DC doesn't have any of their film rights sold off like Marvel does. They own every single character they've ever written about. The problem is DC has a film universe that's all connected. Then they have TV shows that aren't connected at all. And that's really sucks because they feature characters that have become really popular and that they're really good TV shows, but we're never going to see them in the film world now, which makes no sense to me, and I'll explain why in a minute. So basically, Superman and Batman film universe. Then we've got Green Arrow and the Flash on the CW, which is a TV network in America. They've got their own universe. Then we have Gotham on Fox, and that's in its own universe. Then we have Constantine on NBC, and that's in its own universe. Then we have iZombie on CW, and we're not sure if that's part of the Arrow universe yet. And then we've got Our Man, I think, somewhere in the world on a different TV network. And then we have loads of others that are really lesser known characters that you wouldn't know are DC related. So they have all these universes scattered around and none of them are connected, which is stupid in my opinion because they don't have the rights issue like Marvel does. So if they went on TV today and said, oh, they're all connected, it costs them nothing. It's literally free to say that. And then that would make so many fans more happy. And it's really annoying. What do you think?
Yeah, I find it's sort of completely different to Marvel's side because like they have everything. They have everything that you can want. But the only problem is that they sort of put themselves in a position of divide where all these they create multiple universes for the sake of one. It's kind of like, oh, come on.
One of Marvel's biggest criticisms is they don't, well, it's not even a criticism that most people moan about is they can't have every single character. DC has that in their hand, and they thought,
yeah,
nah, we'll just fuck it up anyway because we can. And that's not to be, say they're really bad because everything they do is actually pretty good. It's just sucks they won't admit they're all together.
It's like we were saying the other day, the Green Arrow in the Justice League movie, or in Dawn of Justice.
Yeah, great name. I watched Green Arrow, and you've not really seen as much as I have. I love the Green Arrow TV show, and I look forward to seeing the Flash pilot. But it does. The CW, which is what Green Arrow and the Flash airs on, is actually owned by it's owned by Warner Brothers, who does the films with DC. So I can kind of understand why they won't put the NBC shows in the same universe because that becomes a bit dodgy. But when they own the show and they own the network the show's on, it just makes no sense. And what's even better, no offense to the guy who plays Green Arrow, because I think he's an amazing actor, he's going to be a lot cheaper than Henry Cavill as Superman or Batfleck, because he's a lesser known actor. So what DC has in their hand is A, a love show, B, on a network they own, and C, a cheap actor. But they're still not putting it in the same universe.
It's like I was gonna say, like it's weird that the movies haven't put into them, but no, I'm not gonna say a majority, but there's some DC movies that are not very good.
We're talking to you, George Clooney.
Yeah, and like I think my main one is Catwoman with Halle Berry in it.
I can't bring myself to watch it. I know I should as a fan, so I can criticize it because that's all fans ever do. But I just can't bring myself to do it.
Yeah, it's between Catwoman and Elektra. Even though that's just like Marvel,
yeah.
I find those movies really bad.
You're right. They just got so much potential with this new shows, and to access audiences that they may not access before, and just to have it spread out so thinly and in all of its separate universes. Because now they're going to have an issue that Marvel has with Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, which we've mentioned in a previous video if you've seen it.
Yeah.
They're going to have 2 Green Arrows if they ever do Green Arrow. They're going to have 2 Flashes if they ever include Flash in the film world. And that's just not cool, man. It's not cool.
I think it's okay in terms of like the Gotham TV series, since that's like a prequel story, and that can be put to like any Batman.
Yeah, they could exactly, and that's one that's ideal to be part of the film universe, because there's literally nothing that show can do to contradict what the films will be doing, unless they kill off like Bruce Wayne or something.
Unless they really screw up like big time, that would be so bad.
It just makes no sense. And considering, I mean, I say it's free. I guess I don't know for sure that, but they could, even if they don't include the characters in the TV show in any of the films, just to say it's part of the same universe will mean a lot to people.
Yeah, it'll have cameo. I wouldn't mind a little cameo.
Yeah, it's like, spoiler alert, there's pictures going around on the internet, and I can't say whether it's true or not, of an Easter egg from Flash, the TV show. An Easter egg includes Wayne in I think it was Wayne Technologies. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, and basically those little Easter eggs that makes you just hope that's the official confirmation that they're in the same universe.
Yeah.
But then they constantly say no, we're not. Even though it just makes no sense, it's so painful, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's weird. It's in the same universe, yeah, it's not.
Yeah, and they can change at any time. We've got Comic-Con just around the corner. Maybe this year they'll say, look, 1 or 2 of these shows are indeed part of our universe. Because, I mean, I doubt we'll ever see Constantine in the films, so it's not so much of an issue having that on TV, but there's a high chance we'll see Flash in Justice League. So having 2 of those, especially with the actor, I think his name's Grant Gustin, the only thing he's really known for is Glee. You've got to imagine he's a cheap actor, right? And people really like him. So it makes sense, hold on, I've got this cheap actor with an established fan base, maybe I should put him in our films, instead of hiring a really big actor that no one's seen as the Flash and has yet to prove themselves.
And like we said, the biggest mistake of that for them is that they have all the rights. They can do it.
They literally have it, and they were saying before they started doing this shared universe, they were saying, right, we've seen what Marvel's done, we're going to do better, we reckon we can. And I was sure that they were going to do better by having all the rights and all the TVs and all the films. And then they went and broke my heart. And I can never forgive them for that, especially how good the shows are. I mean, if the shows were shit, that'd be different. I wouldn't really be bothered by that. But Arrow is so freaking good. And it's like they introduced so many villains we'll never see in the film world. I mean, we've had Deadshot, Deathstroke, the TikTok King, Solomon Grundy. We've just had so many that we'll never see in the film world, and it's kind of a shame that they're wasting it overall. Not so much specifically to the show, it's just kind of overall, it's a bit of a waste.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, have you seen a few episodes of Arrow?
I've seen like a couple, like I haven't been watching it religiously.
Could you imagine the budget they would have after they were in a film, and the popularity the TV network, which, again, Warner Brothers own, would have after they were in a film?
That'd be immense. Yeah.
CW is quite a small network, and for all of you who don't know American TV well, the more people watch the show, the more likely it's going to get renewed. And CW's famous for having quite a bad reputation as a girly network, and it also it gets about 1.5, maybe 2 million viewers per episode, which sounds really good, but if you compare it to the other networks get about 6-7 million per episode. So it's quite low down. But could you imagine if they put Green Arrow in Justice League or Dawn of Justice or whatever film, they would get such a ratings boost from that. And of course, the more ratings, the more money they get.
It might prove better than the popularity that Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. has, where it was good for the first 3 episodes, but then people just started leaving it.
I
But
think
because
that's
they have Arrow beforehand, people are going to already go see that after the movie, sort of thing.
yeah, you've got a good point. I mean, I'm not saying the CW is girly. I think that's a really bad stereotype because it's actually a really good network. But if it is more females watching Arrow, they're more likely to go see the other films if they've got the Arrow characters in it. Where they might be sat back thinking, "Oh, I don't really care. It's not a biggie." But you put characters in they love, then all of a sudden they want to go see it.
Yeah, I'm hoping they don't screw up the one of Batman vs Superman. That'll be.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you've seen it, and I'm talking about a week or two ago now. Zack Snyder, the guy who I don't know his role. I think he's either director or producer. Anyway, he's got some kind of big role in the Batman vs Superman film, and he described Batman as an old, crusty dude or something on those lines, and that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it's like sort of when like they released the football game outfits, the one with the Superman symbol and the Batman symbol.
Oh yeah.
They're like, don't do that. Don't make it corny.
if you want to go older Batman, that's great because there's some great storylines you can go to. But describe him as old and crusty, and I think crusty was definitely one of the words they used, and so was old. It's like, you've got to be kidding me. And and he says he's going around beating the snot out of people. And like, one, that's a really bad pun, and two, please just stop.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting.
Keep Batman with the same dignity he had in the Dark Knight series.
Yeah, the trailer, when that trailer comes out, that's going to tell all. That's when we'll really know what's happening.
Remember when they released the picture of the Superman pic, and we were just like, what's the difference?
Yeah, because they released the Batman picture, and I really like it, except from what I call the fat bat, which is the quite chunky bat logo on his chest.
Yeah, kind of cheesy.
Yeah, I didn't like that. But except from everything about... I'm getting really tongue-tied today. Everything except that I liked. So when they were saying about Superman, I was like, oh, dude, we're going to analyse the hell out of this suit. And then it dropped. And I was like, is the blue a different tone? It's the same. And he just looks really upset and depressed. It's probably to do with all that death and destruction he caused.
I'm hoping it's going to be an equal fight between Batman and Superman. That'd be cool.
Yeah, the only way to make it an equal fight is add in the alien kind of kryptonite element, which adds a whole new bit to the film they've got to do, because they can't just say, oh, Batman had kryptonite all along. They've got to really explain it, so it'll be interesting. And then you've got Wonder Woman, and now you've got Cyborg, and supposedly Aquaman. Could we have an X-Men 3 on our hands, where people criticise it for being too many characters in a short space of time?
Yeah, I reckon it's going to be like this. Like, we're going to have Batman vs Superman, which is the main thing of the film. And then another enemy will appear, and then they'll be like, oh, we can see our differences, like they do in the comics, where they join together.
Yeah.
And then like, go around saying, oh, we need to recruit a team. They recruit a team, they meet like different people, and then the film will end. Yeah,
because there was, if you remember, I'm not sure if you remember, there was rumours going around, I think it was the end of last year, saying the last 10 minutes of Batman vs Superman will be like 5-minute slots of those different characters, giving you a quick backstory. And I really like that idea. I don't know how many people else would, but I just think it'd be a cool little way to set it up before the Justice League, so you don't have to try and explain.
Just lead it in, innit? Just lead it in.
Yeah, because they've got perfect time to do it. They don't need. They're going to, I know they are, but they don't even have to do a Justice League next if they change their mind. They could do, let's say, Aquaman and Cyborg film, and then now give them 2 other characters. Because what annoyed me with Hawkeye in Marvel was, before Avengers, all we saw was 2 minutes of him grabbing a bow and like, maybe I should shoot Thor, maybe I shouldn't. And then all of a sudden in Avengers he was this major player, and it's kind of like, how do you explain his backstory? A normal Agent S.H.I.E.L.D. just goes, oh, you know what, I don't like guns, they're too dangerous, I'll just pick up a bow and arrow, they're much better.
Yeah, with Hawkeye, he just sort of appears.
Yeah, he doesn't really get a backstory.
And then he disappears for like half the movie as a bad guy, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot of people criticise that, but they still gave him an important role in the film. It was just very lesser, but that's what DC should be watching and saying, we won't do it like that. We're not going to include this character for 5 minutes for the sake of it. Let's give him a backstory.
We'll make Aquaman good. That'll be a good one.
Yeah, and on that note, we're about leaving you. And so, thanks for watching, and check out our Facebook page. And yeah, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, and please check out our Facebook page.